Hello, welcome to Astronautics for Exploit. This is Dr. Ayoshola Ogundele. Spacefaring, a voyage to make humanity interplanetary, interstellar, and intergalactic. The focus points of my presentation are as follows. Spacefaring, spacefaring entities, the role of private space companies, and spacefaring economy. In 1926, about a century ago, Konstantin Tsiolkovsky, in his book titled 16 Stages of Space Exploration, presented a 16th step towards humanity's transformation into a spacefaring culture. In the book, he introduced the idea of extraterrestrial engineering to support his notion about the inevitable expansion of humanity up the Earth and envisioned construction of large orbital settlements for the possible colonization of the asteroid belt, the solar system, and ultimately the galaxy. By nature, humans are curious. Out of curiosity of knowing the unknowns and comprehending nature, humans look to the stars, dream of becoming spacefaring, interplanetary, interstellar, and intergalactic species, and aim to populate every corner of the universe. Spacefaring concept, the engagement of building and launching of space vehicles into the void of space, and ability to travel in outer space via the use of starship is gaining awareness and momentum among space enthusiasts, and efforts are being made to engage in spacefaring industrial revolution. In the Prior Indigenous Technological Species, authored by Jason Wright, it was suggested that there was a possibility for the existence of the prior indigenous technological species, extinct advanced aliens indigenous to the solar system, which might have arisen on ancient Earth or another body, such as a pre-greenhouse Venus or a wet Mars. It is believed that they might have been spacefaring and left behind techno-signatures. Presently, all hands are on deck to make human species spacefaring. To achieve this and secure the future of humanity, high investments are challenging towards space research and exploration, and to develop state-of-the-art technologies capable of sending humans to the moon, Mars, and beyond. Various spacefaring nations and private space companies, such as sovereign states, supranational entities, and private corporations, are mapping out strategies that will enable them to become commercial human spacefaring entities, having robust and efficient spacefaring operational capabilities within the Earth Moon, Earth Mars, and space-to-space frontiers. Spacefaring. Spacefaring refers to species capable of traveling in space using starships. Spacefaring involves building and launching of vehicles into outer space, the expanse that exists beyond Earth and its atmosphere, and between celestial bodies or in journey through space. Illustration of a space settlement is shown in this picture. Spacefaring requires knowledge and skills, and this must be well developed for effective spacefaring operations. They are aeronautics, space weather and forecasting, spacecraft operations, spacecraft design and construction, atmospheric takeoff and re-entry, orbital mechanics, communications, engines, rockets, and a host of others. This picture shows illustration of the development of spacefaring capability. Spacefaring entities. Spacefaring entities are the sovereign states, supranational entities, that is, international group of alliance in which member states' power and influence transcend national boundaries or interest to engage in decision-making and to vote on collective body matters and private corporations. The picture here shows artist rendering of an efficient lunar mining facility. Spacefaring nations. are capable of independently building and launching spacecraft into space. Presently, there is increase in the number of private spacefaring companies planning and designing vehicles that will enable them to reach Moon, Mars, and beyond. The United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs (UNOSA) has been the main multilateral body servicing international contact and exchange of space activity among spacefaring and non-spacefaring states. The picture here shows a depiction of NASA's plan to grow food on Mars. The role of private space companies. Private space companies are playing a great role in the concept of spacefaring civilization. Becoming a multiplanetary species could protect the future of human race and help humanity reach its full potential. Human habitation across multiple planets will create new hubs of innovation and experimentation, leading to advances in science, technology, and commerce, and actualization of spacefaring capability. The picture here shows artist rendering of a crude floating outpost on Venus. Private space companies such as SpaceX, Blue Origin, Virgin Galactic, and a host of others are contributing immensely to the evolution of spacefaring capability development. Space has transformed since Sputnik 1 sent its first message back to the Earth. Presently, space exploration is entering a new era of innovation and change, and private space companies are important in actualizing the change. Artist Bosner's 1989 concept of Mars mission is shown in this picture. Accessible spaceflight. Today, new technologies, new uses of space, and decreasing costs have made spaceflight far more accessible. Private space companies now launch satellites, resupply the International Space Station, and even offer spaceflight to private citizens. Large number of countries now have space agencies. For example, USA, Russia, China, SA, Japan, India, South Africa, Egypt, Nigeria, and a host of others. The picture here shows artist's concept of a lunar base. SpaceX, one of the most well-known private space companies that has launched various crewed and uncrewed spacecraft into space, has the goal of enabling the colonization of Mars and eventual spacefaring civilization development. SpaceX is now working on a new rocket, which is called the Big Falcon rocket or Starship. This is planned to be the largest rocket ever built. This rocket will be capable of launching manned missions to Mars. The picture here shows artist's rendition of Starship exploring Saturn. SpaceX lunar orbit mission. Before reaching Mars, SpaceX is planning to test the system with a lunar orbit. Japanese billionaire Yukazu Maezawa plans to take 6 to 8 artists on this trip. This mission will serve as more than just a test of SpaceX rockets. Mr. Maezawa hopes this trip will lead to the creation of art that will help unify Earth. The picture here shows artist illustration of mining activity on the Moon. Blue Origin has a focus on space tourism services. The founder, Jeff Bezos, believes that providing entertainment through space travel is the best way to further technology. Therefore, the goals of Blue Origin include lowering the cost of space travel and improving safety. For the advancement of spacefaring capability, Blue Origin is developing reusable New Glenn orbital rocket engine, and lunar lander. Illustration of the Sun becoming a true red giant in approximately 7 billion years and the Earth being swallowed and engulfed is shown in this picture. Virgin Galactic. Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic, which was founded in 2004, is an extension of the Virgin brand into the space tourism industry. The goal of this venture is to fly private citizens into space. Virgin Galactic has tested various suborbital flights. After a well-developed technology, the company will be contributing greatly to the evolution of spacefaring capability. The picture here shows illustration of spacefaring civilization. Spacefaring economy. Human aspiration of becoming a spacefaring civilization inevitably commands state-of-the-art roles and responsibilities for artificial intelligence and a subset of machine learning which promise to enhance innovation, accuracy, and responsiveness in space endeavor. The unique challenges in space is setting the stage for artificial intelligence as imperative to the advancement of space economic pursuits. The picture here shows artist's impression of two Oni cylinders anchored together between the Moon and Earth. Space for art ventures. Technological progress and investment have seen space for art ventures expand from those in geosynchronous equatorial orbit and medium Earth orbit to low Earth orbit and beyond in recent decades, improving life on Earth and providing foundations for the space-to-space economy. Indeed, artificial intelligence enables areas of telecommunications, Earth observation, and planetary defense in a state of swift development. Artist's depiction of an Oni cylinder, an orbital ambiguous design proposed by Gerard Oni in his book The High Frontier: Human Colonies in Space, is shown in this picture. Space for space economy. The NASA Space for Space economy is said to turn our vision of a spacefaring civilization into reality, but the pace and extent to which we settle space will be closely linked to the advances in mostly speculative artificial intelligence and complementary technologies. AI promises to advance the art for space, space for art, and space for space economies, supporting modern nations' spacefaring ambitions, as well as enabling co-benefits on Earth through technology transfer and downstream applications. The picture here shows an artist's concept of a human mission to Mars. For more information, contact Astronautic for Exploit. You've been watching and listening to Spacefaring, a voyage to make humanity interplanetary, interstellar, and intergalactic, presented by Dr. Ayoshola Ogundele. With the focus points, spacefaring entities, the role of private space companies, and spacefaring economy. Thank you.